Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or hello if you're new. In today's video I am reviewing probably the most requested hair care range I have ever seen requests for, both on Instagram, on Twitter and here on YouTube. And it's the Revolution hair care range. This is the 4-step treatment, so they have much like Olaplex in terms of the number of the steps. Number 3 is the treatment. We've got a 4 and a 5, which is the shampoo and conditioner, and we also have the 6 styling cream, which I am so stoked to try out. I am honestly so excited. I have had so many requests to try this and I have seen different opinions actually. I've seen some really great opinions. I've seen some that are conflicting, and so what better way to share my own thoughts than actually trying them myself in front of the camera for you and letting you know what I think to help you decide whether or not to pick them up. What's really cool about these is that to retail these, all of them is £40, so they're £10 each per product, which is obviously significantly cheaper than Olaplex, but it depends on how they perform. Of course, I am someone that uses Olaplex regularly and my standard shampoo and conditioner is the Olaplex one, so I am very curious to see how these compare because it's very fresh in my mind. So they are £10 per product. They did have an introductory offer where they were £28, but I've also seen various different offers where they were a third off in Boots, and so if it's something that you're definitely like looking out for, then there's various different sales that happen across Revolution, so keep an eye out. But with that all said and done, I'm going to talk a bit more about these products. We're going to try them, we're going to do a demo, we're going to see the results, and we'll cast our own judgments, but I am very excited. Size wise, these are basically the same as what you get from Olaplex. So the 3 and the 6 are 100ml bottles, which is the same, like I said, compared to them, but at margin of the price. And the 4 and the 5, the shampoo and conditioner, are also 250ml, exactly the same as Olaplex. And like I say, I'm currently using that hair care range, and so it's so familiar. So what I'm going to do is apply them in the order that they go. So you start off with the number 3, which is the treatment, and then I will go in and wash my hair with the 4 and 5, the shampoo and conditioner, and then I will do the Bond Restore styling cream number 6 at the end after I've used all of them. So this, it says, is a protein cascade system for all hair types. It restores, strengthens and conditions. So ultimately your hair is made out of 97% protein and 3% water. The protein is basically what keeps the bond strong, prevents damage and makes sure it's in their best health possible. And so a protein product that helps with bonds is going to help really restore damaged and dry hair specifically, but as it says, it's okay for all hair types. So a little bit more about the number 3 specifically. It says it's a triple level hair bond technology that helps protect hair, enhances shine, restores, strengthens and improves overall hair vitality. Suitable for hair, coloured and chemically treated hair. Use before shampooing for best results. Follow with the 4, 5 and 6 steps, which I have today. So I'm going to start with this. My hair is actually freshly washed. It has been air dried, so I'm probably going to just dampen this slightly. It says apply a generous amount of the number 3 to towel dried hair and comb through. Allow to penetrate the hair for 10 to 15 minutes or leave overnight if desired. Rinse with warm water and use 1 to 2 times a week as desired. So this is really interesting because Olaplex number 3 stops becoming effective when it dries out. So it basically does nothing else as soon as your hair is dried, whereas this is obviously slightly different in terms of the structure of the proteins because you can use it overnight, and typically the longer you leave a treatment on, the better and more deep conditioning the results are going to be. So this is something I'm particularly interested in seeing how this compares, and I've also tried so many other Olaplex dupes, so I'm interested to see where on the spectrum this sits too. So what I'm going to do is just dampen my hair because I have already washed it today, and we'll try it, and I'm going to wash it again for the sake of this video because I want to give this the best chance possible. Clean hair is also essential to remove product buildup and basically makes your hair a clean canvas for product to sit onto and really penetrate the hair effectively. So that's what I'm going to do. Go dampen my hair and we'll apply this. Okay, hair has been dampened. It always appears a little bit drier on camera, but it is like towel dried and damp. So this is the number 3. Let's start off. So let's look at the texture first of all. Oh, it smells really nice. It actually just feels like a thick conditioner. It's slightly different to Olaplex. I think Olaplex is slightly thicker in consistency, but this is definitely promising. It's got a lovely like texture and it goes quite far as well. So you can see there the elasticity in that, which means it's going to help add elasticity to your hair. So this feels really nice, feels very moussey and creamy, and feels like it's going to be a really nice cleansing product that's going to add hydration as well as help with bond restoring. I'm just going like that. It really disperses really nicely, and you can feel just how soft it is. I feel like this is going to work quite nicely. So I'm just going to apply this to all of my hair from scalp to roots, just to give this the best chance to actually work on my hair, and then I'll let you know how long I leave this on for. This is a 100ml bottle, so typically based on Olaplex I will get 2 uses out of this because I have quite long hair, whereas if you have shorter hair you're likely to get more product use out of it. But we're going to see what this does, because I have, like I said, seen so many different opinions that I don't actually know what to expect going into this. Number 3 has now been saturated through my hair. I did have to use more than I would if I was using Olaplex, so it didn't go as far as what I was expecting, but I still feel like I've probably got enough for one more application in there. This is also worth, I didn't realise this before, it's SLS and SLES free as well, in case you were wondering. It's also cruelty free and vegan, and so that's pretty cool. What I'm going to do is leave this on for a little bit. I'll let you know exactly how long for, and then I'll wash this out following the shampoo and conditioner, and then we'll use the number 6 cream, again comparing that to Olaplex as well. And this is the thing that I've seen the most, is obviously this is a dupe for Olaplex, which is why I'm mentioning that brand so much, because that's the kind of marketing behind this. I think it's numbered in the same way and it also sounds very similar. So if it is a dupe, then great, I really want to shout that from the rooftops, but if it's not, I want to let you know why. So yeah, I will leave this on for a little bit. I'll let you know exactly how long for, and we will see where this takes us. Okay, so the number 3 has now been in my hair for about 35 minutes, and it's starting to like dry up a little bit up here, so I thought that it was time to wash it out. But before I did, I wanted to show you a comparison between the shampoo and conditioner from the Revolution range alongside the Olaplex of the same name, and so we can see a comparison. I can talk you through any differences that they have, and in generally how they are a dupe of one another, because again that is the question that everyone has on their mind. So let's start off with the shampoo. With the Revolution bottles, I can't actually see a ingredient list on the bottles, and the packaging that I received them, because the guys at Revolution sent over these for me to try, I don't have any ingredient information, but I'm sure you can find it online, whereas Olaplex one does. It's really difficult to give a ingredient comparison, but obviously Olaplex has the formula that Olaplex has specifically created to repair bonds. However, the Revolution one does have that triple protein element that I talked about that really does help to nurture the bonds. So I'm not in disbelief that this doesn't have that technology to protect the bonds. It'd be really interesting to see how they do compare. So as we can't do a direct ingredient comparison, let's just see the formula. Let's see how they actually differ. So this is going to be really difficult to show you, but this here is Olaplex and this here is the Revolution one. The Revolution one is really like watery and a lot finer and thinner than the Olaplex formula. The Olaplex one here has quite a lot of like stickiness to it, which I find helps it to lather really well, and it does go a really long way. You need like literally a pea size amount, and it really cleanses my scalp. The Revolution one, of course, I haven't tried, but the formula of that is a lot more liquidy, and I presume that's because it would have more water in the formula compared to the Olaplex one. Colour wise as well, there are slight differentiations. So the Revolution one is almost like slightly whiter, and the Olaplex one has that more kind of creamy colour, which is definitely evident in the bottle of the shampoo of the Olaplex. This is going all down me, but there is slight differences, so it's not a match for a match. There are differences and enough to notice. Now, the trick that I always say to determine whether something is a good quality shampoo, I know that the Olaplex one is basically putting a little bit on your hand and seeing how it lathers up. So a good quality shampoo will basically cream up, and it will almost replicate the look of a cleanser that you would use on your face after taking makeup off. A less quality shampoo basically deteriorates with water. So let me just go like this with the, this is just a Revolution one. I wiped that Olaplex one off. Okay, that looks absolutely brilliant. This is lathering up really in a similar way to the Olaplex one actually. It's very, very comparable in terms of the way that it actually lathers, and that looks like a really great quality shampoo. As I said, it's really, really easy to differentiate between the two variants, but that does look really good, and I can tell that that actually, once it's lathered, it feels a little bit more like almost stickier and just a bit more dense, I think, which I think is going to be good for really penetrating the hair. And then likewise, let's do the same with the conditioner. So the conditioner, this is the Revolution one. Okay, thankfully that's a little bit more thicker than the shampoo. A thin shampoo isn't an indication necessarily of it being bad quality, it's just obviously different to Olaplex. So these are the Revolution and Olaplex conditioners side by side. This is the Revolution one and this is the Olaplex one. The Revolution one is again slightly thinner than Olaplex. Olaplex here really holds its form and it's incredibly bouncy and has a lot of stretch in the formula. The Revolution one has actually quite a lot of stretch still, but it is just slightly thinner and slightly less creamy than the Olaplex one, which isn't necessarily an indication of it being a bad dupe. It's just there is enough difference to notice if you are using one or the other. So the Olaplex one just smells like Olaplex. There's a very distinctive smell when it comes to Olaplex products, whereas the Revolution one is pretty much fragrance free. So if you don't like fragrance in your products, the Revolution one might be a great choice for you because it's not going to be irritating to your hair, especially if you have sensitivity. And like I did with the shampoo, I'm just going to put a little bit of that conditioner on my hand, lather it up slightly and just see how that feels. That smells really nice. That also feels really, really soothing. When I've mixed it throughout my hands, the thickness of it has slightly deteriorated. So I would say again, this is slightly thinner than the formula of Olaplex. Olaplex is quite a thick, robust formula, whereas this Revolution one is slightly thinner, but again, I still feel like that's going to be quite moisturising. I can tell it's incredibly hydrating just by putting it on the skin. It's a great indication of how it's going to perform on the hair and also on the scalp, because skin and hair care are very, very similar in so many ways that people don't necessarily realise. So those are the comparisons. I'm not going to film myself actively using the shampoo and conditioner in the shower. I've tried that before, my camera almost died, so I vouched that I'm never going to try that again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go wash my hair now. I will join you again once my hair has been washed. So I'm going to wash this number 3 treatment out, follow up with a 4 and 5 conditioner and shampoo. I'm then going to add the number 6 in as it instructs, and then we'll blow dry my hair and we'll see what the results are like. And again, I can compare whether that's a similar results to what I get with Olaplex and generally how it compares to other affordable hair care on the market. If you're looking to step up your hair care game but you're thinking, is this the line for me? Hopefully I can help with that. So I'll see you guys in a second once this is all showered out and I'll let you know my verdict. So I have now showered, and what I didn't do is show you a formula comparison between the 3 of the Revolution and the 3 of the Olaplex. So I'm going to quickly do that before I talk about the experience using them in the shower. Here is the 2 different formulas. The bottom one here is Olaplex and the top one there is a Revolution one. The Olaplex one is slightly different in colour, but it's also a bit more balmy, whereas the number 3 Revolution one just appears to be almost like a standard conditioner. That's kind of feeling that you're very familiar with, whereas the Olaplex one is slightly different. It's slightly thicker and it obviously went a lot further in my hair compared to the Revolution one. So again, if you're looking at a comparison between the two, they're kind of similar but they're not the same, and so it's really informal for you guys to know that before going into it. As you can see here, whilst it's been on my hand, the Olaplex one hasn't moved at all because it's a bit more robust and just thicker in consistency, whereas the Revolution one has, and again that's probably down to more water in the formula. So now moving on to the shampoo and conditioner experience from the Revolution one. As I kind of outlined from a formula perspective before I used them, the shampoo did not go as far as I'm used to with the Olaplex range, and so when I lathered it in my hair, I definitely needed more than I normally use with Olaplex. It didn't kind of foam up as much and it didn't cleanse my scalp as easily, so I had to use more product. Again, from a cheaper brand, I'm not saying that that's necessarily too much of a negative, but the two are not the same in terms of experience of use. Now the conditioner for me is something I could take or leave. I think again Olaplex one is thicker, it's a bit more robust and definitely a bit more hydrating in terms of how it felt using it. The Revolution one ended up being a little bit thinner when I applied it, especially mixed with a bit more water, and when just like standing in the shower I normally let my conditioner just sit on my hair for a few minutes just to get all of the benefits. I found that when it came to wash it out, a lot of the product had already basically come out, and so I would have liked that to have been a bit thicker. Again, probably because of the price point, the ingredients are slightly less expensive, so you're not going to get the same experience. But again, when we're talking about it being a dupe from Olaplex or not the same. Shampoo very similar in many ways, but still has enough differences to not be able to say that they are like the same product. All in all though, compared to other kind of drugstore shampoo and conditioners, these were a really great experience, and definitely not something that I'm saying don't use. It's just when you're comparing it to a more expensive product, there are always going to be differences. A lot of people on YouTube, when they compare the Revolution ones to Olaplex, haven't actually tried Olaplex, and so for them they're saying it's a dupe because it's really good. It is really good, but it's not quite the same as Olaplex, which is obviously a lot more pricey. I obviously don't know how it now looks in my hair because my hair is still wet, but before I go on to dry it, I wanted to use the number 6 from Revolution, and before I did that, compare the two. So this is the number 6 from Revolution, this is the number 6 from Olaplex. Even kind of down to colouring here, very similar. Revolution is typically a brand that is known for kind of duping other products, making more affordable versions of products, which is great in terms of accessibility to a lot of people. I know that way back in the day, Makeup Revolution was really revolutionary, pardon the pun, but it really was, and it made all this makeup that was so exclusive to people that had a lot more money, a lot more disposable income. People could buy a palette for £4 and it was just like groundbreaking, and it meant that everyone could do makeup, and it really opened that question to affordability. And I think that that's what they've continued to do with products, but in some cases it's a bit more obvious when they're like copying a product, and then others they've been a bit more inspired but opening that accessibility. So I'm not against the brand at all, I just think that sometimes the colouring or just the way it's kind of packaged, like obviously this, it's the same size, it's the same numbering system, which is common in other kind of Olaplex dupe products, but it's still very central to the Revolution branding that there is almost too many similarities where you kind of question the legality of it all. But anyway, let's have a look at the number 6. Okay, this is probably the biggest difference in formulas. So this is the Revolution one here, extremely kind of liquidy and watery to the point it's literally trickling down my hand. Let's move that one over there. And this is the Olaplex one. So the Olaplex one is a lot more thicker in consistency, and it's like a cream. So that means that this is great for all hair types, and again, you need a very small amount for it to go much further. Whereas the Revolution one, based on how kind of liquidy it is, I imagine you're going to need to use more of that product to get a similar kind of finish if that's what it's aiming to do. And this also is very much an indicator that water is probably one of the first ingredients in the Revolution one and not in Olaplex. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Revolution one in exactly the same way that I normally use the Olaplex one. I typically use about like a 50p piece worth because I have long hair, and it's something I use only in the lengths. Just run it through with your fingers, and if you feel like you need more, you can go in with more. I'm probably, to be honest, going to take a little bit more of that. I felt like that there's still some of my ends that haven't been nourished with it, so again, that's definitely more than I would use when we talk in comparison to Olaplex. We'll just go through a little bit more. What's really interesting as well to see if Revolution plan to create other products like Olaplex have. So Olaplex, in addition to the 3, 4, 5 and 6, also have the number 0 primer, which I've done a video on, and also they have their number 7 oil, which is probably one of my favourite products from Olaplex. So it's going to be really interesting to see if that's where Revolution are planning to take this kind of segment of their brand, because they've done a whole hair care like account, so it's totally separate and it's like their newest venture. So it's going to be really interesting to see the products that they bring out, because I'm always really interested to try affordable products. Now that that's in my hair, very kind of similar to the way that Olaplex number 6 makes my hair feel, which is a great sign, especially considering how much cheaper this is compared to Olaplex. I think the Olaplex one's normally like £26, whereas that to buy full price is £10. So a big difference. I'm going to go off, just dry my hair, and then I'll show you the results after having used all of the products from the Revolution line, and just give you my final thoughts in terms of, is this a good enough dupe? my final thoughts in terms of how it compares to other drugstore products and generally my consensus of the products, because I already have a lot of opinions, but I'm really interested to see how my hair looks after I've dried it, to see if that's definitely the case. And here we go. This is the final result after using all of the steps from the new Revolution hair care range. And to be honest, I really like the products. I think that these are going to appeal to two different people. So those that are hair care conscious but also money conscious, I think that this is a really great line. It ticks all those boxes in terms of having your bond maintenance in mind, and obviously it has that triple protein structure formula, which means it's going to help protect the proteins of your hair, which is what makes 97% of your hair. So it's really important. And if you're kind of on the market to get a drugstore shampoo or conditioner that helps from the inside out, this is a really great choice for you. If you are someone that is currently using or is very familiar with Olaplex, there are too many differences between the two to categorically say that it is the same product. I know that that's not what it's trying to say, but it's trying to imply, that's for sure. For someone that has personally used Olaplex quite a lot, I definitely prefer the results from Olaplex. I think that my hair right now does look really good. There's no frizz, it's got shine. I haven't added any other products other than the ones that I've showed you, just to show that this being an absolute fair test. And I like the results to speak for themselves. It's very hard for me to lie about a hair care product because you can see it. I don't need to tell you about it. So I am really impressed with the way it looks, and I think that it made my hair look really nice. There is, I think that number 6 is just sitting a bit heavier on my hair. Obviously I did go in adding that little bit extra, so maybe I need to be a bit more careful about how much product I use on my ends, because this is feeling a little bit more weightier than the Olaplex one, even though the formula was slightly thinner. So that's just something to note as well. I think that this is going to be a really nice product to continue using and just see how it works in the long term, because Olaplex I know has really strengthened my hair since I started using them. I can't say that the same is for the Revolution one because this is more of a first impressions, but I am really impressed, and I know people that have really struggled with damage on their hair that have already claimed that the Revolution ones have really helped them in terms of the structure, preventing split ends, and also just stop it from feeling dry. The ends of my hair do feel quite nourished. I still again feel like Olaplex does nourish them a little bit better, and if you're willing to spend the extra, I would say invest in Olaplex because the products last you so long. It's actually mad. I've been using the shampoo and conditioner since November of last year, and I did a first impressions video, but this is how much of those products I still have left. So these are going to last me a good few months still. So even though they're an investment, they do last a really long time. That said as well, I got the shampoo and conditioner from Olaplex on Black Friday and they were £35 for the duo. Obviously the Revolution ones at full price are £10 each, so 20. So if you can get the Olaplex on some kind of deal, they're not too different in terms of pricing, but it's still a lot of money for anyone that isn't prepared to spend that much money on hair care. So my overall verdict is that I do really like this. I definitely recommend it. And if you're currently watching videos thinking, I want to understand what it's like compared to Olaplex, but you know, it's more affordable, do I try it? Is it worth spending a lot more? Maybe try out this. I also have a ton of other Olaplex dupe products that I have tested and tried out, so I'll leave my hair playlist above so you can check those out and just figure out which one is best for you. But yeah, I'd absolutely love to hear your thoughts and let me know if you've tried the Revolution range and what you think. I think I am being quite critical because I think that a lot of people are thinking it's the same as Olaplex and it's not, and that's basically what I'm trying to stress, is that there are enough differences but it is very comparable in terms of making my hair feel really nourished. And for the price point, I think that there's nothing that is that similar that's easily available in the high street. Obviously these are in Boots, they're Superdrug on their Revolution website, so it's really easy to get a hold of. And like I said, Revolution tend to do deals all the time, so you're likely to save a bit of money if you kind of lay low and just try and keep an eye on the deals. But what do you guys think? Do you think that this has worked well in my hair? Do you think that the results are great, and are you going to be trying it out after watching my video? I'll have all of the products linked down below if you want to check them out yourself as well, or just find out a little bit more information. I know personally I really want to find out a little bit more about their ingredients and what else they claim to help with, but all in all, I am really impressed. I think for the price, you can't beat it. And I'm also really excited to see where Revolution take their hair care line as well. So any other products that come up in the future, I'm hoping to try them out, because obviously I love filming reviews, and I think that Revolution is a brand that so many people are familiar with, that we want to know, is it good, is it not, and hopefully I can help with that. So that is today's video. I hope that this has helped anyone with any questions, but obviously if I've missed anything out, leave a question down below or leave any kind of comment, and I always reply as well. So any kind of questions or anything, there's not really a silly question, so just leave them down below and I'll get back to you, and hopefully I can help. But yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe. It means so much to me and my channel. It means I can continue making videos much like this one, where I can try out new releases and let you know whether it's worth the hype or not. So that's all from me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.